Hi, welcome to Triggered Care. I'm Alex. Today I'm going to do something a little differently. Instead of a specific memory or helpful tips, I'm going to rant a bit. And hopefully you enjoy my rants. Hopefully, not that you enjoy them gleefully, but hopefully this kind of helps you feel like you're not alone, especially for sexual assault survivors out here. I'm already going to say it. This is a message for sexual assault survivors. And anybody else who wants to listen to it, if you're curious about what we're thinking at the current moment, if you're curious on what our perception of all the debate in Facebook, in all of the social network things talking about false sexual assaults and men wanting to put their 2 cents in on whether or not it's legitimate or not. And the thing is I'm not claiming to know of any legitimacy for any of the recent claims. That's not what I'm doing. What I am doing is calling out the bullshit memes saying that it's not real unless this, and this happen. And women are liars and they just say this to get attention. They just say this for whatever reason, and the victim blaming going on with sexual assault survivors is fucking triggering. And it's triggering in a real bad way. This Me Too movement was awesome for survivors to stand up and say, hey, I was sexually assaulted too, and give a voice. And you know what? A lot of those women never reported it because of how scary it is. Just the concept of stepping out there and being like, hey, I was violated. I was raped. Because you know what happens after a fucking rape? You know what happens is the victim blames themselves already. They are already, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, I shouldn't have trusted that person. That was my bad for being stupid. And if the rape survivor is also a domestic abuse survivor, that even lowers the chances of them reporting it even more, because there is a systemic thing in their brain that makes them believe that they are not worth it and that they deserve to be abused. And so when you go on your self-righteous rants about innocent men who are just getting yelled at from all these crazy ladies pretending to be sexually assaulted, it makes me fucking sick. I've had enough. And you know what? I'm not the only one. The people in my support group and all my support groups, the last week, they have been triggered and they have been suffering from flashbacks and from animal brain mode, where you go to your survival mode because of all the sexual assault talk that you guys seem to want to do now, and talking about legitimacy of rape claims. And you know what? If you really want to talk about it, let's fucking talk about it. Let's talk about sexual assault, and let's do it in a constructive way. Not all men who are accused of rape are actually guilty. Not all women who accuse a man of rape is lying. Can we agree that those 2 things are separate, and that the chances of a rape allegation being falsely accused rapist, is so small? It's a very small percentage of women who come forward who are lying about being raped. And then compare that to the percentage of women who have the courage to speak up before the statute of limitations run out, especially if they were raped or assaulted during childhood. That when they realize that they should have done something, that they should have turned them in, they then get survivor's guilt for not turning them in because they were too young to know what to do. So if you want to come at us with your stupid goddamn memes about how sexual assault survivors do A, B, and C if it's real, and you know what, if that really happened, she would have said it sooner. Guess what, bitch? She couldn't say it sooner. She does not have the fucking mental power to say it sooner. Because life, when you are getting raped and traumatized, is fucking hard. So if you're going to try to scapegoat somebody, how about do it to, I don't know, actual people who haven't gone through something terrible and it fucked their heads for the rest of their fucking life. Maybe just don't scapegoat anybody. Why don't you figure out what it is in your head that makes you want to scapegoat people and talk shit about victims of horrendous crimes? What is that part in your brain that's making you do that? Maybe go to fucking therapy and figure that shit out. And for you sexual assault survivors, I am so fucking sorry. I am so sorry. I've been making videos. I've been trying to make helpful videos, story time videos, tip videos. And I haven't spent much time on social media, and today I went on social media to try to share my stuff and to try to fucking figure out a new video idea. And I start scrolling, and the shit that I see, it's triggering. It's fucking triggering. Because you know what happens every time I see a fucking post that's victim blaming a woman who came forward with sexual assault allegations? It makes me think of my abusers. It makes me think of my attacks, and I have a fucking lot of them. I personally never turned any of my rapists in. One of my attackers turned himself in. And I lied to keep him out of jail because I was young and I was afraid. I was afraid of what that would mean for my own life if I came out as a survivor. And now I kick myself for it because I think about how many other women he might have hurt. If you got shit to say, if you got an opinion on sexual assault, you better have some experience in it. You better be going to fucking support groups and seeing what it's actually like to be a survivor of rape and a survivor of sexual assault. Learn some empathy. Go to a fucking psychology class. Do some introspection of why you feel a need to put your fucking opinion on something when you don't have that much experience. So, that was more like a message towards all of the people pissing us off more than for us. But I hope if you are a survivor and you listen to my very angry, emotional rant, that it helped you expel some of your own triggers and feelings while listening to it. I highly doubt anyone who is toxic is even going to get to this video because it's on a support page. But you know what? Feel free to share it with people who are triggering you and you want to scream at them, but you don't know how. Because I'm done. I'm done. Since the Me Too movement, I felt better because I feel like I'm more a part of a community of survivors. There's a lot of us out here. And at the same time, it's enraging because of the conversations you hear about how people think it's stupid or it's exaggerating. When I know from my experience in support groups and the support community, which I have been a part of for years, I know there's a lot of us out there. And I know how many of us feel like shit when we see this ignorant ass shit up there. Sorry for all the swearing. There's support chats down below, along with resources. If you're having a bad time, I highly suggest checking out the other YouTube channels that I always list in my resources. They've helped me tons. Feel free to come onto the Discord to chat it up. I'm always up for talk and support. So if you need support, we'll be there for you. Also, Facebook page. If you want to share a story, feel free to message me. And like always, have a good one.